Welcome. My name is Rachel Latour. Let's spring into health.
Rachel, thank you so much for being here today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So one of the things that we wanted to do in this video is really talk about your perspective and your journey. So how did you get started at Apex?
I started out as a client actually. I had never done any type of weightlifting before. A friend of mine trained with Jace Lopez, who runs Apex, and she posted a video on Instagram. I messaged her and said, "What is this? What are you doing?" She told me, "This is Jace, contact him." I messaged him, I set up a consult, came in. It was the first time I really had ever been in a gym. He took me through a consult and my movement patterns and found out I was very weak. I could barely lunge, body weight, squat, anything. And he set me up with Sarah, and I started my journey in 2019.
What was it like for you? What were the feelings that were going on for you, and how did you deal with them?
I remember pulling up into, we were at Hub City gym at that time. I remember pulling up in the parking lot. There were trucks everywhere, and I thought, this looks like a truck dealership. I don't want to go in, you know. I was terrified. I was almost kind of moody out of just stress, you know. And I went in. The girl at the front desk just kind of said, "That's Jace over there. Walk across the gym and go meet with him," where I was terrified, you know.
And Jace is a very small
Jace,
guy,
Jace,
right?
yeah,
He's
yeah,
really
yeah.
small.
He's only about 7 feet now.
Yeah, 7 feet
He's
by
a big
7
gorilla.
feet.
If you know him, he's a big gorilla. And so I'm looking across the gym like, no. Well, I found the Apex office instead, and I veered into there where I actually met Sarah. She made me super comfortable. I didn't know she was a trainer at the time. We just talked. She would tell me about her kids. We got comfortable, and then she brought me over to Jace. And then we went through a consult, which was still terrifying, but
Sure.
I realized he was just a big teddy bear, not so much a gorilla as I thought originally.
Yeah, he is a big guy at first, but he's super jovial, super embracing.
Yes,
he's a very kind-hearted
absolutely.
guy.
He loves everyone, and he'll embrace anyone in.
That's awesome. What would you say some of your struggles were, or what were some of the milestones that were like personal victories, like, oh gosh, I was really bad at this, and then I got really good at it? Give us a few stories or a few things that you struggle with that you kind of overcame on your journey.
I think for me, nutrition and having just body image in general was always out of whack, which it is for most women. I had body dysmorphia. I had been as skinny as you can be and heavy. I went every size. And so I had never been consistent with my body weight, never consistent with my nutrition, a gym, any type of exercise or anything like that. So that was a huge shift for me to stay consistent with something. I never stuck to anything for even a year in my life, you know, no sports, anything like that. So by year 2, it was like, even to my family, it was very noticeable, like, wow, you're sticking to this.
Yeah.
You've changed your, you know, eating habits, you're working out, pushed away from any type of drinking or anything like substance abuse, which was a thing in the past for me.
Yeah.
Pushed away from all those things. Also, I feel my attitude changed a lot. I felt like I improved on, which Sarah had a lot to do with that, molded me into a better person.
Mental health is a huge part of it.
Absolutely.
I don't think it gets called out enough. I was talking to Jason and you and Sarah about my health journey. I didn't know how bad I was feeling, and especially up here emotionally, mentally, until I started getting healthier.
Absolutely.
And you don't notice the difference until you're on the other side of it.
I say that a lot. When I started, Jace had said to me, "It's amazing you've gotten through life this week." And I was like, at the time, it's, you know, very humbling, but it's something that I'm proud of now.
Yeah.
That I, you know, overcame that, and that knowing where I started with that type of, left that impression on them. But I didn't know how weak I was, and most of our clients that come in for a consult have no idea how weak they are, because you're doing life fine. You think, you know, you're moving, you're carrying groceries for the most part, and picking up kids or doing whatever you're doing, and so you don't know what you're not doing and what you're not capable of, you know.
So part of your journey, it sounds like, was a lot of growth, a lot of personal growth.
Absolutely, yes. It definitely mental, physically for sure, mentally probably even more.
Would you say that, and I've heard this statement and I fundamentally believe it, that health is not just a habit but a lifestyle?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I would feel like just a joke if I walked away from this life now, knowing what I know. I feel like how wouldn't I continue this year after year, knowing what I know? I would just be hiding in a hole and tucking off, because it's like once you know this, you have to continue it forever, you know?
It gives you, it empowers you.
Absolutely.
And it gives you motivation.
It would make no sense to me I feel like I would just be like, what am I doing? Because it's such a big part of my life now, because it's beyond the gym. It's like the gym's just a little part of it. It's all
I like to use the word
outside of
catalyst.
Yes.
It becomes that spark, that seed that moves so many other things.
It does. And that, Sarah, when I started, Sarah would tell me those things in the gym. Like she would just say, you know, if there's 5 more reps, she'd say, you could do 5 of anything, or things like that, now I'll transfer into my real life, or I'll push through things that I'm like, I'll do a lot of mental talk to myself as if I'm talking to a client, like, come on, you got this. You just have one more errand. You're fine. Just stay with me, girl. And I do a lot of talking myself through things now that I do through weightlifting.
You don't just become stronger physically. You become stronger as a person.
Yeah, just a better person overall.
Yeah.
You kind of lose a lot of entitlement or attitude, or just get a better perspective on things, and less excuses, and just kind of more confidence to do things that you didn't think you could do before, because you pushed through something in the gym that you didn't think you could do.
What would you say to that person who's like, I don't know if I want to start my health journey? What would you tell that person if they're on the edge, they're not sure, they've avoided it, and they're maybe a little open to it? What would you tell them?
I'd tell them to just give it 1 month. I would say, just come, let me make you fall in love with it. Give me 1 month. And anybody that they're usually 1 week into it are like, okay, I'm sticking with it. I love it. I don't want to leave. If they're not here on their day off, they're texting me, I miss the gym. I wish I was there. So I think just showing them a different perspective of it. Not a lot of people obviously just see it as a bunch of, you know, bodybuilder men in here work, but for us, we make it fun while we're working hard. And I think if you can make it fun for them, you can pull them in a way that they haven't experienced before, and make them stay more accountable to it and more dedicated to it, because they're enjoying the process while they're improving as a bonus, you know.
And I couldn't help it, but I've heard the word community several times when you guys have been talking about it. But I've also observed community. Folks who showed up and gone all the way to come and say hi and connect with you.
Absolutely.
It's almost like an extended family, and it's friends that you make here that becomes a part of your life.
Yes. Oh, it's pretty much all of my friends are part of this community, and it's just, the best part is none of us were friends from the start. It's nobody, like, we might have 2 people that have come together as friends and joined, but in general, the, you know, hundreds of us didn't know each other, but met each other here, and through like weightlifting and dying in there together, we all have become family, and you just push each other. You all started somewhere, and it's just like, you know what each one's going through, and it makes you more accountable to want to show up for them, because there's eyes on you. There's lots of eyes on you, and they love you, but they're going to keep pushing you know?
And I think that's the real people in your life that help you grow are the ones that support you, but also challenge you to go further than you thought you could.
I mean, you're never going to be doing anything in here without one of them telling us you can go heavier, or, you know, and it's just like, I know, leave me alone, but it pushes you, and you can be doing, you know, working out by yourself, and might be training. They're going to walk over and push you for those last reps and help you and spot you, and everyone jumps in for each other, whether we know each other or not, whether we're in the middle of our set. We all just jump in for each other, and it builds true community, and it's why we all keep coming.
It's awesome. Well, hey, I want to wrap this part of the interview, but we've got some more things to talk about that are on my to-do list. So let's turn that into a 2-parter. So are you good with coming back for a second interview?
I'm down to do that. I'm here all the time anyway.
All right. Well, listen, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. We've really enjoyed hearing Rachel's journey and her story. Obviously, there's more to talk about. We want to talk about some of the equipment, but we're going to have to save that for another episode. If you enjoyed what you're watching, do us a favor, click that like button, crush the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell to stay up to date with everything we're producing. As always, we hope you're doing well, we hope you're staying safe, and we'll see you in the next one.